Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Eddie Marcus one more time. And this time I surely got a strong gas for you. If you're standing, it'd be wise to take a seat. Because I tell you, what I'm going to say to you will definitely knock you off your feet. Today I'm going to talk about the subject matter, politics, the billionaire's game. My subtopic is turning point. And what I'm saying to all of you who feel that you've been victims, don't play their game. Play your own. I've said these things to you before, ladies and gentlemen, but some bears repeating. All, including every system of government, including the socio-economics, are representatives of the founders, not familiar with justice, not familiar with compassion, not familiar with peace, not familiar with prosperity, and not familiar with joy for all. Now, the operative word is for all. Capitalism, to that degree, right and left, has failed. It is this hatred, this racism, and this bigotry. Is it in our society? If so, then it is felt in every area of life, and it will not be avoided. If you are poor, living in shelters, in apartments you can't afford, on food stamps, SNAP, AFD, etc., you are being told that the wealthy can be made to pay more in taxes, and that the middle class will get more. They say, but no one mentions the poor. When was the last time you heard somebody in politics up there talking about the poor? They always say the middle class and maybe the 1%, but the poor, where are you? Well, they don't mention you. The poor is ignored. Ladies and gentlemen, the truth is this. The poor have been abused long enough. The poor, remember, has no color. And yet it is a time for the poor to stand up. The poor may have to follow the example of those oppressed in Hong Kong. They might have to follow the example of those oppressed in France. They might have to follow the example of those in Iran and stand up for peace, stand up for freedom, stand up for prosperity, stand up for justice and joy and dreams fulfilled for all. I said the poor must stand up, do right, and you can't go wrong, for righteousness is with you if you can do these things. Listen, Iran raised prices on gas by 50%, the news media reported, and the poor resisted, and they are being murdered as they protest in the streets for resisting. Now, your president here in the United States has threatened to jail and murder Americans that don't like him, not about price, don't like him, don't agree with every lie he tells. Then you are his enemy, and he wants the authority that you're giving him to do this to those who are not in your camp. And so, my friends, as soon as he sees power from the American people, this is what you have to look for. Right now, he's doing all he can to get that power, and he has all of the help so far necessary. So, you know, some say the human race is condemned. They're corrupted and condemned. They are experiencing on the road to hell as a second chance. What you're going through right now is hell, and it is an opportunity for a second chance. That no way such character and immorality would anyone receive a pass to the best as described as heavenly, as you have been taught that Christianity says you will. All you got to do is remember to say, Father, forgive me before you die, and everything's going to be forgiven. You know that's a lie. It's a big lie. A dope dealer once stated to me, he said, the reason righteousness is resisted is because it pays no bills. Not understanding that righteousness has a different fee than money. Rather treating others as desired themselves. You see, money is the tool of the great deceiver. Money is the tool of the liar. Some say Democrats are on the left, Republicans on the right, and God in the middle. They interpret this as compromise, but not so. God is on the right in pursuit of the best. He's to the left to include every human on earth. The reason we have the problems of today is because the system, though better than the one it freed itself from, still is corrupt, designed to do exactly what it's doing. Similar to the system Trump and his team is trying to install. The current system is not as bad as Trump's, but bad nonetheless. The comparison between the two peoples is yesterday's people were persuaded and convinced about the present system, just as the team of Trump day acquiesced to a system of dictatorship, oligarch, authoritarian, and monarchs. If the Trumpsters are successful, America of tomorrow will be foreign to the present day America. Knowing this and having the time to express real choice, wise men and women will take advantage of this opportunity to make America the greatest it can be. You hear that? Right now you see America right before your eyes is turning to be the worst you have ever seen. You know it. And if you're thinking about just not going that far but holding on, you crazy. You're going to lose. You can't play the devil's game that way. Since the devil has shown you the worst that he can do, then doggone it, you got to stand up and show the best that you can do. I guarantee you, if you stand up and show the best that America can be, I'm not talking about make America great again. America's always been messed up. But if you make it the best that it could be, if you look in that book that you call the Holy Bible and see if you can come up with a structure that would allow it to be the best it could be. Not with that old statement about the poor you always have with you, but guaranteeing to one another that no poor will exist here. I guarantee you some strange things will happen. You see, the reason we have the problems of the day again is because the system, though better than it, when the people came over here, they were running from hell, they say, or they heard there was some promise over here, and so that got them here. But ladies and gentlemen, here is the truth. If the Trumpsters are successful again, America of tomorrow will be foreign to the present day America. And so, are there any wise people amongst us? Is there any that are willing to take advantage of this opportunity and make America the greatest? A nation of people, not Trump, not a nation of capitalism, not a nation of status quo, but a nation by the people where all the people are satisfied. Now, that has never been an interest in America, even though they might have said it, the action takes away any of that. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, all people have choice of life. Mine is to live in peace, to live prosperous in freedom, to have the joy of life and the fulfillment of my dreams, and this for all people. Without this, life is a curse. Yet I choose to exist in poverty until poverty is no more. That's what I used to say, ladies and gentlemen. I used to believe that when you heard the news about paradise on earth, when you heard it, you would be just as excited about it as you see those people backing Trump. You know Trump lying, they know Trump lying, they don't care. So if you were going to make America great, if you were going to make America heavenly, then you tell the truth every time you hear a lie. And you'd walk according to that truth, denying the existence of the lie. That's what I thought. And at that thought, I was saying I was willing to be poor until everybody else got from unpoor. Then we'd all be unpoor together. But having been out here 40 years talking this crap, you too blind for me to stay there any longer. But I'm not going to say yes, sir, like the people in Washington are saying to Trump. I'm not going to say yes, sir, Trump, just so I can have some food. If I got to say yes, sir, to the devil, I ain't going to happen. I ain't going to happen. You know, I started to say something else, but I'm thinking I better not. You know, now listen to me, ladies and gentlemen, because I didn't come to stroke you. I didn't come to try to make you feel good. I saw something on television today when going through this impeachment process, and I saw the most despicable stuff you could ever imagine. People standing on television right before the American people, right before the cameras of the world, acting like they got so much devil in them. They got horns on their head, they got forks on the tail, they got oh my God, I couldn't even believe it. And they're sitting there doing it right before the world, agreeing with Trump, with his lies, going along saying, whatever you do. Well, you know, I told you earlier, that's what happened in heaven. The devil went around and told the angels, it's us now. God ain't got nothing to do here. And the third of them says, yes, sir, Lucifer, it's us. And right here in America, you're seeing it. You know, they talk about it in the good book. You don't have to use the good book no more. You can just talk about it because you see it with your own eyes. You know exactly what it means. You don't have to guess. You don't have to talk about what you believe. You talk about what you see. Talk about what you know. Now, let me say this to you, make you mad. One of the biggest lies ever perpetuated on humankind is that God is in a book. They use this lie to control the believers, tell you what God is, what God wants from you, allow them to establish themselves God over you. But now God speaking to you will address all your needs, all your wants and desires. This is what makes God, God. Whose God is going to be with you living in the cold in Minnesota under a tent? Whose God is going to do the things that allow you to have to go to the shelters and have no food, no job, no health? Whose God is going to do that? Going to be somebody else's God. It's definitely not going to be yours. And if Christianity puts up with that, talking about Godism, then it's a statement to you that you've been tricked. I've been telling you, ladies and gentlemen, you better find God in your heart, find God in your spirit, and put that junk aside. I guarantee if you do that, you'll know what to do. Well, God speaks, my friends, and God does not make anyone superior to you. Whose God did that? It wasn't your God. God, your God, God does not make anyone more important than you. Whose God did that? It wasn't your God. And any other is deception channeled from a book. You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? A book. A book. This counterfeit is the mother of hatred. It is the mother of prejudice. It is the mother of racism. It is the mother of poverty. Love of God is with me. And I've decided to share the truth with the poor. To do what I can to help heal their broken hearts. And to set those who are in bondage in their minds free as best as I know how. To recover sight that they might be able to see through that stuff that Trump is putting over them every day. To set at liberty them that are bruised. To identify the pains felt in 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, at the 2020 presidential election, I advocate pass over Democrats and Republicans and write in heaven's choice as your choice. 2016 general election, was about the lesser of two evils. The lesser of two evils. And people calling themselves Christians, calling themselves children of God, went to the polls and voted for evil. An indication that they have no idea what God is and what God is about. And where did they get this blindness from? They got it from people standing up in that pulpit talking to them about something in a book who didn't know nothing about what God is truly about. Now, you don't like it, but I'm telling you, if you don't like it, get out there and get in these streets and start walking according to the love that you do understand. And that you don't, someone else will show you. 2016, 2020, the general election will be about the same. Yes, the general election will be about the same. I want you to know, Christianity is a Republican. Christianity is a Democrat, right and left. But God is truth, not a lie, and God is not wrong. What am I saying to you? Every born-again person of the Spirit of love is in jail or on their way or dead. No righteous person living in America would accept the nation's evilness of today. Right or left will never take anyone forward. You have the opportunity to lead America to the truth. To say that more police, as some are saying, are needed to stay the violence in any city is to say that martial law is the answer to the problems of the nations. What is really required is a new system that works for all the people. So, I offer to you what you know too well. No human made the earth, you know that, or any of the resources of the earth, whether it's in it, on it, above it, seen or unseen. Thus, all the earth and the fullness thereof belongs to the provider of it. No human can righteously claim any of it as their own. Now, you heard what I said? Now, that's totally against democracy, isn't it? That's totally against capitalism, isn't it? No human can righteously claim any of it as their own. Now, I can do it legally, but not righteously. Everyone needs and benefits because all of the human beings require the same from these resources for survival. Thus, the resources and the earth is provided from the provider for the preservation of all living things, including human beings. Everyone needs and everyone benefits. Thus, everyone is equipped to play a part in the creative process of manifesting the goods, manifesting the services that satisfy their needs, satisfies their wants, and satisfy their desires. This means that everyone is to have a job or a career whereby none will ever suffer a lack of food, of shelter, of clothing, of education, or health care, which will result in peace, prosperity, freedom, joy, and the fulfillment of dreams. This doesn't happen anywhere where deception is the order of the day. So why would any of you stay committed to a camp that needs lies, that like the Republican Party is doing today? And you Democrats too. You just can't see yours because the Republicans got all their light on them. All the cheating, the stealing, the hating, the racist, the killing, the terror, the war, the poverty. Who could be so far away from the truth that they settle for this hell? We all have. Now, do we change or do we stay the course? I want to say to you once again, to the poor, you are the ones that have had your careers and had your jobs stolen. To the poor, you are the ones that have had your housing and your food support, your health care and education stolen. To the poor, you are the ones that save for others at wages that deny you the opportunity or the ability to afford gas at the pump. The poor. It is you at the borders escaping genocide, where even walls are being built to keep you captive. You are the ones captive to the practices of denial of basic human rights. It is you that are jailed and imprisoned and killed. It is you for failure to conform to the abuse designed for you by your oppressor. You must accept the reality that no politician, no Democrat, no Republican or other, male or female, black or white, rich or poor, American or Trump, have any plans to end their persecution of you. Even democracy, yes, this democracy, and man-made religion, even it yields strength to your abuse, because none of it is eradicating your problems. None of it is dealing with your problems. And I say to you, only a God of love can save and free you. But you, my friends, it's not going to just happen, because the law has been set. You shall reap what you sow. The seed that you plant determines the fruit the fruit you're going to get back. And what you see is what America has done. And yes, there are those of you who say you do charitable things, and you feel that just because you do that, that you're serving God because you helped one person when the whole world is messed up. Why? The system allows you to do that. It's no threat to the evilness of this world. And today, I sit here, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to take about 2 more minutes, maybe 3. I remember a few years ago, I had a program on cable access called Paradise. Well, let me start back. I came to Minnesota talking about love ministry, life of victory eternal. I talked all over radio stations, everywhere I can go. Peace, life of victory eternal. An expression through that title about the same things I talked to you about today. And after that, I started talking to you about the moment of truth. You refused to hear that love ministry, so just maybe a moment of truth would get you. You rejected that. And I talked about paradise on earth unlimited. Paradise, you know what paradise means. And you act like, oh my God, I can't find the words to describe how you act. And then I started talking about basic human rights for all people. But before I even went and ran for president of the United States, 3 times I ran against Barack Obama. I ran against Bill Clinton. But I had to run as a write-in. Why did I run? I couldn't get any support from you. But I ran because I know that every last one of you, none of you want to be absent with some money in your pocket or the ability to access that which money can buy. None of you wanted to be without health care, education. None of you wanted to be without food or clothing and shelter. And I know these other candidates came to you talking that same stuff, but all your life they've been talking it, and they never delivered, and you still keep going back to them like you don't even have any sense at all. Now, I'm not going to sit back and say I told you so, but when I think about what God is to me, and when I think about what God wants to do for you, and I think about how you rejected it, and then I sit there and look at Trump, look at the Republican Party, look at the United States Senate, look at the Christian right, evangelicals and fundamentalists, all on their knees licking Trump's boots, and he knows doggone well it's the biggest lie they ever seen. But they don't care. And they're trying to convince the rest of the world that you who don't see that are stupid. That you are darn stupid because they want to be on that ride and gravy train. It must be something going on that we don't understand. Something must have been put in place that says this is going to happen whether you like it or not. And these jokers have bought onto it. And you're the one that they're going to suffer. But you don't have to be caught up in there, ladies and gentlemen. You can get out of that chain. Get out of that chain. When you go to the polls, don't be voting for, well, those devils are going to vote for those devils. Now, you might not like it because I called you a devil, but when I compare what you're doing to what God wants, you are a devil. And those of you who thought you were following God I know you're scared. You're so scared you don't know what to do. You'll go to those polls anyway, even knowing that your vote for a Democrat won't mean a thing. And Trump once said to black people, vote for him. What do you have to lose? I say to everybody that's suffering, put your mark for God. What have you got to lose? Put your mark for God. What have you got to lose? God ain't no big mystery. You want these things of life for survival. Hey, it was made that way. Everybody wants it. So let everybody come together and say, rather than putting more cops on the street, we're going to put more love on the street. We're going to go back down to Mississippi. Ada Bena, Mississippi, a little town I grew up in. It wasn't a big town, but we had a couple of grocery stores. We had a gas station. I think they call it Scott's Butane Station. We had a movie house. We had a couple of restaurants. We had a few drugstores. We had post offices. We had a little, I'm not bragging about the police department, but we had one or two. We had streets. We had the Beehive. We had the Hut. We had Mississippi Valley State University. The state seemed to have been all right. But now you go down there and everything is on the ground. Rotten. What happened to it? No love, no care. And then people say, well, nobody lived there but black people. You see what I'm saying? Nobody lived there but black. Who care about blacks? Well, I tell you, my friends, you might not have cared about blacks, but I guarantee you Trump and his devils don't care about you. No, and if you think that putting another millionaire up there is going to save you, you are as crazy as you were yesterday. Now, I didn't want to get all upset. You know, I didn't even want to scream because it's not going to do any good. But I want you to know that the troubles you have, you brought on yourself. Don't you blame God. Don't you say God ignored you. You ignored God. But God understands that you did not know. God knows you had hypocrites in those pulpits. You got the biggest churches in the world. You know what they tell you? They tell you don't worry about it. Stand still and watch the glory of the Lord come to your rescue. Yeah, the glory of your God got you Trump. Yeah, the glory of your God got you the United States Senate and Republican Party doing exactly what it's doing. Yeah, that's what's coming to you sitting on still. Well, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do because, you see, I have, like they say, mine eyes have seen the glory. I've been to the mountaintop. Yes, I would like to live, but I don't want to live in this. I don't want to live in this hell for you or nobody else. And I spent 40 years, so I can understand why they say Moses deserted the people. They brought them to the promised land, but didn't go in. I know why he didn't go in. He didn't want to be worried with you devils. And right now, Jesus, but if he ever lived, I don't know if he did or not, he left here because he didn't want to be dealing with you devils. Martin Luther King got killed because the devils didn't want him here. Gandhi got killed because the devils didn't want him here. Now you walking up the street talking about some Jesus. I love Jesus. I'm saved and you're not. Every last one of us are lost. I didn't say you. Every last one of us, U.S., and the United States as well. We're lost. And only the truth is going to set us free. Don't be sitting up there. Right now this conversation should stop. The Democrats know that Donald Trump is supposed to be impeached according to their own laws of the United States. But they also know that the evilness that Donald Trump has surrounded himself with will not call him to charge. They'll set him right back out there. So what I say, ladies and gentlemen, if you were smart, you would start changing what you've been talking about. Start saying, we the people are going to make sure that everybody in America got a job. But not just any job, but a job of your own choosing. Something that you love to do. Something that you'll be easy to getting up early in the morning to go to or late at night because it's giving you an opportunity to shine. And in your shining, there won't be a single citizen without health care. From the womb to the tomb, there won't be a single citizen that won't have access to education. Unlimited and unrestricted. Oh, buddy, this God show is good. But who is God's way? You see, you don't understand. God has a government, and God got a system. And to be born again, you start kicking off what you used to be controlled by and putting up the new that you're controlled by. You see what I'm saying? You're on a new team now. Yeah, the old team gonna be mad, but who cares? If they were any good, you would still be there. But now you know something better, and that's where you're going. And the evidence will be there because you are not going to do anything else but that. And the people who have been in bondage all this time can now breathe. They can look up and see the sunlight. They can look at one another and see the spirit of themselves within that individual. Not just thinking it, but by the way you treat one another. My. All this ragged communities falling apart, ragged cars. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end here because I keep on going. But I want you to know that for quite a few years, I heard the other day I had close to 3,000 videos on the same subject. I haven't talked about anything else. Everything that I've talked about since 1979 has been about this. I've talked about, I even told my wife that if she married me, we were going to live heavenly. I was counting on you. I didn't know you were so blind. I had no idea you were so blind, especially having come through the 60s, especially seeing Dr. King do his thing, especially seeing Dr. King's action shut the dogs' mouths, put the baseball bats down, and even got white folks and church folks coming out there in the streets with him. You saw it. And now you just gave up like, well, you know, God sent me anyway to tell you that he loves you. And that the heaven that you've been praying for is already for you. All you got to do is change and accept it. If you don't do that, don't blame God. Because I declare, Trump going to whip your butt good. And any devil, whether it's Trump or anybody else. And I don't care if you don't get Trump. If you still stay in the same path, it'll come right back to you. It has no other place to go on that path. So you better change. And I want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for giving me this your time. It's really been an experience, and I'm not mad. I'm not angry. You know why? Because if a blind man walks into the wall, what you going to do? If he walks out in the front of a car and you don't stop him, what you going to do? So you do what you can. Having done that, then it's on the God that they follow. And I want to thank you again. Until next time, if there is another next time, this is Eddie Marcus saying goodbye.